Hey there, friends. Welcome into the live stream. It is your favorite 71% successful grant writer, Superior Shelby. And I'm so blessed to have you on the live stream this morning. It's probably 9 a.m. Eastern time for you, whatever have you. But I'm so blessed to have you on my live stream with me. We're going to go over a $100,000 grant that you can't afford to miss out on. I'm going to walk you through the actual application. I'm going to teach you all about grants. So come on in here. Make sure you like this live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can share it with other entrepreneurs who's looking for this grant information. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel and share this live stream as well, okay? All right, so I love talking about grants. I have this entire dedicated YouTube channel for over about 6 years, going on 7 years, dedicated to talking about grants. Okay, so that's all I talk about. I love grants. I'm a global grant writer. So what that means is I write grants not only for US based companies, but also for, my clients in the UK and London, and also for some clients here in Africa. So needless to say, I'm not new to this. I'm definitely true to the grant world, and I'm so happy to have you join me today because that means you are looking for some grant sauce. You're trying to figure out how to get this free money to start and scale your business. So we'll get right into it. Now, I love grants versus loans because grants is free money that you don't have to pay back. There's no credit checks. There's no personal information needed, like your date of birth and social, and it's quite simple and easy to win grants. Most entrepreneurs and startups don't go for these grants simply because they might not have the time to go for them. They might not understand what a grant is and how it operates. And also, they are looking for like a quick turnaround time type of opportunity. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, the thing about grants, like I said, you don't have to pay it back. But with loans, imagine having to give up so much of your personal information, allowing the banks to log into your bank accounts to, take a look and see if you can pay back the loan. And also, you got to pay back a loan with interest. But with grants, you don't have to worry about doing any of that. And I've been able to win millions of dollars in grants. And I just most recently won a grant for one of my clients back in April, in March as well. So you can take a look at one of my video shorts so you can reassure yourself on knowing that I'm a legit grant writer out here, okay? Also, I have an entire website with some really great video testimonials of my clients who can tell you more about my services, okay? All right, so I'm going to put the link to my website in the chat, and then we're going to jump right into what are grants, where can you find them, what you need to have before you apply to grants, all of the frequently asked questions you guys are always asking me, okay? So welcome in. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I'm so happy to have you here. Make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can push out this video to all of the entrepreneurs that's looking for this information. Business funding is such a really, really high key searched, topic. And that's simply because everyone wants to start a business. Everybody wants to generate some revenue so they can experience what true financial freedom is like. However, a lot of entrepreneurs don't know about grants. This is why I have this dedicated YouTube channel that teaches you all you need to know. Now, if you have came across grants, you understand how they work a little bit, and you've been a bit curious about how this grant works or how grants work in general, then this is the perfect live stream for you to be in. And I hope that you ask any type of questions that you need reassurance on. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, okay? So you can drop your questions in the chat about grants. So this $100,000 grant we're going to go over, I'm going to walk you through the application, and I'm also going to reassure you on the main things you need to have before you go for this $100,000 grant. Now, if you want me to write it, then you can simply book a $50 one-on-one consultation with me. I'll walk you through the application there personally, or we'll talk about my grant writing services. Towards the end, I'll explain to you what it's like when you hire a grant writer and what types of businesses actually hire grant writers and how they're successful in winning grants, okay? All right, so we're going to get right in there. So I want to make sure that I have all of the information, the inside of the description, all right? Because usually I put the link to what we are applying to and the name of the grant and everything in the description. So let me go ahead and put that there. While I'm doing that, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat so that way I can answer them as well. let's see. So we're going over a $100,000 accelerator program or grant. And the deadline date is July 27th. Now, you don't want to wait till the last minute because sometimes things can be, or opportunities can be, first come, first serve. Okay. All right. Perfect. And all of my information on how to get me to help you apply to grants like this one and so much more that you qualify for is inside of the description. And I'm also going to put it here in the chat for you. Okay. All right. So there's my website. You can simply book a grant call. That way you can reassure yourself. We'll go over what you need to have before you go for grants, things like that. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So grants, free money that you don't have to pay back. No credit checks, no personal information needed, like your date of birth, social, and bank account statements. This is simply free money that you can get from so many different entities, nonprofit organizations that support startups and small business owners, as well as private groups and entities and state and local governments that want to help the startups in small businesses out there, so you can continue to provide opportunities, okay, like employment opportunities and stuff. So you can get a grant from like a state and local government. So for example, you might be living in a city like Miami-Dade County, and they might be looking for Black women-owned companies to give $10,000 to in Miami-Dade. Or they might be looking for Latino-owned companies in El Paso, Texas. Or they might be looking for LGBTQ plus led business owners in Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, right? So those are state funded grants, not federally funded, state funded, which means they collect donations and they have, private sponsors that give them money towards small business development. You can also find these grants, like state and local government grants, from like the Small Business Development Centers or the SBA. So each state has a Small Business Development Center, okay? SBDC. Probably heard me talk about it once before. So if you're in Texas, you can simply look up Texas SBDC, Florida SBDC, Georgia SBDC, New York City, right? And they all have their own, grants that they give out through those programs. You can also use grants.gov, grants.gov to find those grants that is state funded and locally funded as well. Okay. All right. So another way you can win a grant or you can go for a grant is through like an actual business entity. So a business like Amazon, Google, even I think even Facebook gives out a grant. You have Gucci gives out a grant. Cartier gives out a grant. Even Beyonce is giving out a $10,000 grant right now with her Sacred Hair Care line. You have Adidas that gives out grants. And even some of the business resource tools that we use, like QuickBooks and HoneyBook and Zen Business and, so many more, right? These are business entities that share their income, their annually generated revenue with us by providing us with a grant opportunity. So we can have the startup funding we need, and we can use this money to start or scale the businesses that we currently have. And last but not least, you can get a grant from a private entity or a private sector or simply a nonprofit organization that supports startups and small business owners. So places like Hello Alice, right? Hello Skip, Fearless Fund, Black Ambition Prize. What is the name? I think it's John. I forgot his name, but I think it's called Hope. So there's so many out there. These are certified nonprofit organizations or investment capital groups that use some of their income or donations and sponsorships to be able to give us grant opportunities. What I love so much about grants as well is that no matter what's going on politically and economically, there will always be a grant available for you. There's always going to be a grant out there, no matter what type of business industry you are into. I'll say it again. No matter what type of business industry or business market you are into, there is a grant out here for you. You just simply need to go for the grants that align with your business mission. I'll give you an example. Say you are starting your own trucking company, transportation company, and you might want to do things like non-emergency medical transportation or medical courier services, right? and you want to buy some small vans. And with those small vans, you want to be able to give out some opportunities to those who was, previously incarcerated. Well, you can go for a grant that will give you $50,000, $100,000 or more, so you can buy the vans, and also for you to be able to develop that program to help those previously incarcerated individuals have a second chance at life. Your mission is to be able to have the funds necessary to be able to hire those who was previously incarcerated to give them a second chance. That's the mission. So if you find a grant that aligns with your business mission, then you shouldn't have any problem with actually getting approved. I'll give you another example. Say you are in the beauty industry and you want to create your own skincare line. You might have had, eczema back in the day, or psoriasis, or, stretch marks, whatever the case may be. And you want to create your own organic, naturally based skincare line. Well, your business mission might be to help provide healthier skin and clearer skin for those who suffer from skin cancers or skin conditions like eczema, right? And so, because that is your business mission, well, you can go for like a Clinique grant, a grant sponsored by Clinique, or a grant that's given to you from Macy's, or any other place that has that's in the beauty industry, like Sephora and MAC. And then you can get this grant, and the grant might be specifically for those who are in the skincare product line or market. Your business mission aligns with that grant mission because they are looking for those who are wanting to start in the skincare product line or market, and they're looking for those who have already started, or you already have your own remedies and things like that. You just simply need the money to be able to start production. Okay, so I hope those two examples gave you clarity on what it truly means to go for a grant that aligns with your business mission, so that way you don't have to worry about, am I actually going for the right grant opportunity? Okay, how do you know if you're going for the right grant? Well, I'm telling you here, friend, once you click on that grant and you go to the grant website, it tells you on the grant introductory page exactly who they're looking for. They will tell you the grant requirements, the eligibility requirements, right? It'll tell you the grant application deadline date, the date that they plan to choose the winner, and they will usually have somewhere like a small hyperlink of some official rules that will give you reassurance and clarity, or that will tell you exactly how they will choose a winner. Now, there's so many different ways you can win a grant. One way you can win a grant, friend, is through like a first come, first serve opportunity. We see a lot of these first come, first serve opportunities through those state and local funded grants. So back to my example, they might be looking to give out $10,000 to all woman-owned companies, let's say in Tampa, Florida, and Hillsborough County. Well, it might be only $1 million in a pot. So if it's $10,000, $1 million in a pot, that means only a handful of y'all, probably up to like 1,000 of y'all, will be able to get this $10,000. You understand what I'm saying? So it's first come, first serve. That's why it's always important to go ahead and apply to the grant as soon as you see it, no matter what. Okay? Now, another way you could win a grant is through a random raffle. So Hello Skip, which is a certified nonprofit organization that helps us with business funding opportunities, not just grants, but also loans, lines of credit, and credit cards. Well, you can download the Hello Skip app, and I invite you to use my invite code Superior Shelby, which is one word, so that way you can have unlock the opportunities of grants by having this app. Well, they give out $1,000 on a weekly basis, and so they give it out in a form of a raffle. As long as you subscribe to their YouTube channel and you are actively on their live stream when they're doing the raffle, you could potentially win an instant $1,000. That's right. That means when they call your number or your business name, you will let them know that it's you, and they will instantly send you the $1,000. Okay? So that's more like a raffle, but it's still in a grant. Okay? All right. So the third way you can win a grant is through what's called a pitch competition. So a pitch competition is usually when you are standing up in front of a panel of judges, or you are doing a virtual call and you are talking about what your services and products are. You're really pitching to them what makes you different from your competitors. What is the problem that majority of your customers are having? How are you solving those problems innovatively? And also, you're explaining to them what your business mission and goals are. What would you do with the grant funding, the free money that you're requesting? Okay. So you have that. And then last but not least, you can win a grant by simply a judgment. And this is where diving deeper into that grant information on the grant introductory page comes in handy. When you click on that small hyperlink that says official terms and conditions or official rules, you will usually come to another page, either it's in PDF form or it's just a separate page entirely that explains to you the entire grant rules. Things like you can only submit the grant application for one business, one company owner. Things like what's the winner selection date. And also, you'll have reassurance in knowing exactly how they will judge you. Yes, friend. So, you know how most entrepreneurs and small business owners don't go for grants because they might lack the confidence of, creative writing skills? Believe it or not, a lot of especially minority business owners don't go for grants because they're afraid that they're not saying the right thing in their answers to help them win the grants. Well, here's how you can reassure yourself on making sure you are saying the right things on your answers on the grant application. Make sure you are taking a look at the official rules of the grants. Read to comprehend as well, friend. In the official rules, it'll give you a chart or it'll give you step by step, on how like they're grading you. Usually, how it works is that it's a point system. So, out of 100 points, they will tell you which each category, how many points, the highest point you can get for each category, totaling out to 100 points. For example, say we come across a $50,000 grant for all startups and small business owners. Now, they might be grading you on, let's say, 70%, right? 70%, you can get 70 points, depending on like, are you compassionate and clear in your answers? So that can be 70 points. 20 points can go towards, do you show a need for the grant? So were you able to explain exactly how you would use the grant $50,000? So that can be 20 points. And then 10 points can go towards, did you complete the entire application thoroughly? And also, did you submit it on time? Okay. So that's the best way I can explain it. But yes, majority of these grants, they would work like that in a judgment, and you can find out how they will be judging you so you can make sure you are very clear, concise, and compassionate, very thorough and detailed in that high point earning or category so you can increase your chances of approvals. And that's all in the grants official rules. Okay, that was some grant sauce. All right, so a grant is free money that you don't have to pay back. There's no credit checks, no personal information needed. You also know that there's 4 different ways that you can win a grant. Let's talk about where do I find these grants, okay? Because I know a lot of people are like, where are you finding these opportunities? I use 3 main websites that you can use yourself, friend, to find these grants, and you can start today. You can literally kickstart your grant writing journey. Get ready to write this down, okay, friend? Okay. With my 10 years of experience, and I have a 71% successful grant writing rate, and what that means is out of 1,000 clients I will get in a year, 71% of them get at least one grant approved that I write for them, okay? So with my expertise, the top 3 main websites that I use is grants.gov, grants.gov. Grants.gov is like the government website for grants. It's free, so you don't have to pay for it. And you can use that grant search engine to find all grants that serve in your favor. No matter where you are in the world, you can actually use this grant site, okay? So grants.gov. The second one I use, of course, is Hello Skip. All right, it's a blue and white app. You can download it on your phone no matter what type of handheld device you have. Hello Skip is literally easy to comprehend. And if you have never written grants before, I highly advise that you start with Hello Skip. Hello Skip has a lot of startup grant opportunities there. They also help you out with answering the grant question. It has some AI incorporated to help you with keeping the word count and for spelling and grammar. So I think that Hello Skip is a really great app for you to kickstart your grant writing journey if you're going to write grants yourself. And then last but not least, the website that I use that I actually love so much, that I actually use way more than grants.gov and helloskip.com, is grantwatch.com. Okay? Grantwatch.com, you do have to pay for a monthly subscription or a weekly subscription. I pay for the $45 a month subscription. The reason why it's worth it is because I'm applying to one grant a day, not only for my own business, but other clients that I have. If you plan on being dedicated and intentional with winning grants, then this is the perfect. Sorry, friend. Okay, so let me go back to what I was saying. Thank you so much, Asi. Okay, all right. So what I was saying was grantwatch.com, super worth it. You can put all of the filters in place so that way you'll be able to narrow down to the best grants that serve in your favor. Okay, I love grantwatch.com. The links to grantwatch and all of the ones that I just talked about is in the description as well. Okay, all right. So you know what a grant is. Grants is free money, no credit checks, no personal information needed. You also know that there's four ways you can win a grant. One way is through a raffle, another way is through a judgment, a pitch competition, as well as a first come first serve opportunity. You know the three main websites that I use to find these grants, which is HelloSkip, grants.gov, and grantwatch.com. Okay? So I've given you a lot of grant sauce. I've also told you how you can increase your chances of approvals with grants, and a nice, grant tip, which is going through the official rules and terms and conditions of the grant, so that way you'll be able to know exactly what they're looking for in your grant answers. This will give you reassurance and clarity and help you build your confidence in your creative writing skills and when you are answering the questions on the application. Okay, so we went over those things. I wanted us to go over the basics first before we jump into this $100,000 grant opportunity, because there's so many frequently asked questions that I just need to make sure you understand the basics. So when we go over the 100K grant, grant opportunity, then you'll be like, oh, okay, everything will click. Now, before I get into the $100,000 grant application, there's still a little bit more we need to go over. I'm going to tell you the three main things you need to have before you go for grants. And then also, I'm going to explain to you what are grant, turnaround times, right? Is it a quick turnaround time? What should you expect once you submit an application? Things like that. And then we'll jump into the 100K grant opportunity. And then I will leave the floor for some, any questions that you might have. Okay. So definitely drop your questions in the chat. I love an interactive audience. And I dedicate my days to do this and to make sure we have awareness about free money. Okay. All right. So for those of you who are joining, thank you so much for the hearts. Make sure you like the live stream so that way the YouTube algorithm can keep pushing it out to other entrepreneurs and startups who's looking for some business funding, especially some grants, and they need to know about this good stuff. Okay. All right. So I always get this question. What do I need to have before I go for grants? Like, I want to go for grants. I want to go for the free money that you're always talking about, Shelby. But how can I be properly prepared for these things? What do I need to have? Well, friend, I'm here. I'm your friend, and I'm going to make sure you know this stuff. So you need to have these three main business documents or components before you decide to go for any business funding opportunity. That can be for a loan, line of credit, credit card, grants, accelerator program, incubator programs, networking opportunities, as well as investment and angel capital. Okay, so if you have, what you should have is not if, what you should have is a business plan, a business pitch deck, and a 3-minute business pitch video. All right. I dive deeper into what they need to look like and things like that in my dedicated grant masterclass playlist. You can definitely take a look at that once we're done with this live stream. I promise I won't take up much more of your time. Okay, my dedicated playlist called the Grant Masterclass is on my YouTube channel. It's about 5 videos. They're about 6 to 10 minutes each. Very direct information. So just in case this live stream it didn't click for you, you can always go to those videos too to give yourself some reassurance. Okay, especially watch those videos if you're applying to grants or while you're applying to grants. Okay, all right. So business plan. Here's let me cook. Having a business plan will serve as an answer key for your grant applications. Some of these grants are asking you questions like, who are your competitors? What is your business mission? Who are your customers? What is your customer's problem? How are you solving it? What are your business income goals? What is your business funding goals? What does the roadmap look like for your business? In other words, if you were to receive any type of funding or any type of opportunity like a grant, how would you use this money? Okay. All right. So now that you know that, having a business plan will serve as a really great answer key for you. You can literally copy and paste out of your business plan. So for those of you who lack that confidence of creative writing skills, well, if you have a direct question like, what is your business mission? You will go to your business plan, copy your business mission from out of your mission statement from out of your executive summary part of your business plan, and then you will paste it into the application, okay? So, yeah, and I'll show you that. I'll show you that once we go over this 100K grant opportunity. Now, a business pitch deck. The business pitch deck is essentially the slideshow or PowerPoint presentation version of your business plan. All of the key indicating factors that you need to have inside of your business plan needs to be in a business pitch deck. So things like, what is your product or service? Tell us about your company. Who is your customer base? What is your customer's problem? How are you solving the problem? Who are your competitors? What makes you different from your competitors? What is your funding goal? What would you do with the funding? And how will it be impactful towards your business? And then some general information like contact information, so that way the people who's going through your slides, they can reach out to you, okay? So you need to have a PowerPoint presentation. And then last but not least, the 3-minute pitch video is that video content piece that you need to have that will help you out with really sealing the deal. It's like, the icing on the cake, or really like the cherry on top. Now that we're living in such a digital age, we're even using social media channels like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter to find like the best piece of place near us, right? Or to find out different hair schools that we can go to, or to find a nail tech near us, or whatever have you. Like, we are finding these consumer services and products by using these social media apps now. So it's very important for you to be mindful of that, especially if you are a person who does like TikTok shopping and things like that, because you should be on these apps as well. And you need a piece of content that really explains what your product and service is, so we as the audience, as the consumers, can shop with you. Okay. All right. So you need to have a 3-minute pitch video. That's a video content piece. Will definitely help you out with increasing your chances of approvals. Okay. All right. So all of this good information. Now, I want to give you reassurance, and we're about to go right into the 100K grant. Okay. Now, I get this frequently asked question all the time. Shelby, what is the general turnaround time for grants? Okay, friend. So, generally speaking, when you submit a grant application, right, and you see the application deadline date, you have to give the grantors, right, the grant people, you have to give them 30 days after the grant application date to correspond to you, to reach back out to you through your email that you provided on the application to let you know if you were selected as a winner or not. Now, you can go for grants that do have a quick turnaround time frame, and this is something that most entrepreneurs don't know. I'll give you an example on how it will be a quick turnaround time. When you select the grant by using one of the grant search engines that I gave you, like grants.gov, grantwatch.com or HelloSkip. Once you find a grant using one of those grant search engines, then when you click on the grant and it brings up the actual grant's introductory website, it should tell you right there on their page exactly when the application deadline date is and when is the winner selection date. Now, you can determine on whether or not you want to apply to that grant depending on the winning selection date. I'll give an example. Say we come across a $100,000 grant opportunity and it says June 14th, which is on my birthday, is your grant application deadline date. And below that, it will say winner selection date, June 24th. Well, that means about 10 days or so later, all right, which is a pretty quick turnaround time, you should know if you were selected for that opportunity. Okay? So it's important for you as a person to be very organized when you are applying to grants. See, I'm a spreadsheet girly. I do a spreadsheet using Google Sheets, and you can use, Microsoft Excel, whatever have you. And I literally, in each column, I will list the name of the grant in column A. Column B, I will put the application link. Column C, I will put the application deadline date. In column D, I will literally put the date that I should check my email, which is the winning selection date. If the grant that you are applying to doesn't really specify what the winning selection date is, then you must keep in mind that you are going to give them 30 days after the application deadline date to correspond to you. So back to our 100K grant example, if the deadline date is June 14th, on my birthday, then that means they didn't specify a winning selection date on the grant introductory page or even in the official rules, which most likely they will, but most likely in the official rules, they will tell you the winning selection date, okay? But if they don't, then you need to give them by July 14th to let you know if you were selected for the grant. How will they respond to you? How will you know if you were selected for the grant? They will email you. This is business grants, which means this is business funding, which means this is business. When you are going for a business loan, line of credit, or a credit card, and you apply for it, they're not going to call you and say, sorry, you were not selected. They're going to send you a denial email or even mail it to your house, okay? So it's the same thing. It's business, right? They are going to let you know if you were selected or not selected via email, and it will be sent to the email that you put on the application, okay? All right, good. Everybody got it? We're all good. Are we ready to go over this $100,000 grant opportunity? Everybody's good? Okay. Perfect. Let's get right into it. I'm going to move this back so we can have some space here. And if you have any questions while applying to this grant or while we're going over this grant, you are more than welcome to ask all the questions that you need, okay? More than welcome. Okay, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're going to bring it closer. I'm just getting set up so we can go over this grant application. Okay. Bronze Valley Investment Accelerator. That's what it's about. Okay. So let me get myself together here so they can see everything. Okay. So this is the Bronze Valley Investment Accelerator. I like this program. I love this program so much. An accelerator program is a bit different from a grant program, friend. And a grant, they will give you the money, and that's really about it. They won't really give you any more like perks and deals or any like investment opportunities or anything like that. Let's see, because I want to show you guys more about like Generator. Generator is really good about giving out some really great opportunities. Um, Usually, when you're going for their accelerator program, all right, they are giving so much out. Let's scroll down and I'll explain it to you. Oh, also, if you are a global business, right? So if you are not based in the United States, that's fine. You can still go for generator opportunities, okay? So for those of you who are in UK or out here in Africa with me, you can go for these opportunities. So they have a list of all of these great 100K opportunities that you can go for. All right, so what are the perks of this program? All right. So Generator is a proud member of the Global Accelerator Network, GAN. And this affiliation unlocks $1 million and more in deals and perks from vendors like IBM Cloud, Rackspace, Amazon, PayPal, Zendesk, and Microsoft for our portfolio companies. So you will get over $1 million in deals and perks just by going for one of their programs. All right. Yes. So they have a big network that you can go for. You can also schedule some office hours with some of their people. So let's get into it, okay? So let's get straight to the investments accelerator program that I was going for, or I was talking about. All right. So the Bronze Valley Investment Accelerator invests up to 5 companies per year. In addition to a 100K investment, each participating startup will receive 12 weeks of concierge mentorship programming. And that's in addition to their own network and also in addition to the perks and deals that you can get as well. All right. Remember that they have over $1 million in perks and deals with Amazon, PayPal, IBM Cloud, and so much more. Generator is a nationally ranked accelerator that invests in high growth startups and supports the growth of these startups through its network of experienced mentors, technologists, corporate partners, angel investors, and venture capitalists. Okay? So it's a big deal, friend. So let's learn more about the application deadline date and stuff, and we'll go over the direct application. So the application deadline date for this particular opportunity is July 27th, and the program starts September 18th. You get 12 weeks of concierge, which means tailored mentorship. Imagine having mentorship from a person who always already makes millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in your industry. You can literally get the entire blueprint from them in this 12-week mentorship and allow yourself to not only start, but scale as well and really reach for the stars, okay, in less than a year. All right, so let's go over the actual application. Now, remember earlier, right? I talked about the importance of having a business plan, a pitch deck, and a 3-minute pitch video. Well, I'm going to show you in this application the reasons for why it's important for you to have those things before you go for grants. Now, if you do not have a business plan or a pitch deck and you simply need help with completing those things, then I write them. Okay. I definitely write them for you. You can visit my website, superchargemybusiness.com. It'll tell you everything about my services and things like that. Okay. This is the grant eligibility call. So you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me, all that good stuff. This is my website. This is everything that you will get: dedicated client support, strategic business planning, which is essentially me doing your business plan and your pitch deck for you. Okay, you can come here if you want to book a one-on-one consultation with me. You can simply book a call here. If you want me to do your business plan and pitch deck for you, get your business plan. And if you want to know more about my one-off grant writing services, where I just apply to 5 grants for you, how much that costs and all that good stuff is right here for you. Okay, so visit my website, superchargemybusiness.com. The link is always also pinned at the top of the chat, because I don't know what's going on. Give it a minute, you guys, because it's coming in. If you have any questions so far, definitely drop your questions in the chat, so that way I can give you the reassurance and clarity that you need. Maybe we need to turn on the VPN really quick, because it's taking forever, friend. Okay, so we're going to click on apply now. Okay, 1 second. Okay, good. We should be good to go now. It's been able to open up all these days. I don't know. Today it's just acting really, really, really slow. But bear with me if you will. While that's taking its time to come up, all right, let's go through some other accelerator programs. I like Generator as well because they have some really cool free opportunities. You can go for skill accelerators, which will help you develop in your career. You have other free accelerators that will give you 4 to 7 weeks of free coaching. You can get mentorship support from creative accelerators. So those are workshops from like people who want to be in music and visual artists, and so much more. Okay. All right, so let's go over the $100,000 Bronze Valley Accelerator application. Each grant application is going to ask you a series of questions to help them best narrow down to the perfect candidate for that opportunity. All right, so but usually, because I get this frequently asked question all the time, and this is why I'm going over the entire application with you, simply because I want you to have reassurance, clarity, and confidence to actually go for these grants. Because a lot of the times you guys are asking me, well, how do I apply? Well, friend, you just simply click on apply and complete the application and submit it. That's how you apply. So I'm teaching you right now how to apply to a grant. This is a $100,000 opportunity for any startup and small business. You don't have to have already generated revenue. So even if you did not generate any income from your business, you just thought about this business idea, but you have things like your business plan, pitch deck, 3-minute pitch video, things like that already done. This will really help you out with the 100K. Then why not go for it? Okay. Even if you don't have your business plan and pitch deck completed, well, you have by July 27th, okay, to submit this application. All right, so generally with all grant opportunities, the first half will be about the the company owner. So what's your first name, last name, email, phone number, city, state, zip code, and country, and then also LinkedIn. Any question that you see that has a red star, that means the field is required. You have to complete it. If it doesn't have a red star, like it says here in LinkedIn, for LinkedIn, then you don't have to complete it. However, in my years, in my years of experience, it's very important that you complete these grant applications in its entirety. So if you do not have a LinkedIn page in 2025, friend, you got to be a serious business owner and get you one. Okay. All right. So programs. So the program we are going for is the Bronze Valley Investment Accelerator Fall 2025. That's the name of it. So you would literally click on that program. Then the next set of questions is just general information about your business. So what's your company name, website, and your business description. So if you don't have a website, you can simply put NA inside of the answer box so that way you'll be able to move forward. All right. If you have only just the domain, which is the www.mycompany.com, but you don't have your official website published yet, that's fine. Go ahead and put your domain name in here. Okay. Next, you want to go over the description. So 3 to 10 sentences about your service and product or about your business. The next question would be, what's your business model? So describe your business model. How does your business make money, or how does it intend to make money? So what's your business model? Do you serve business to customer, business to business, or both? And how do you plan to make money, or how do you make money if you're already generating revenue? So this also moving forward, this keep in mind because I want to reassure you all. If you are a startup, yes, you can go for this grant. No matter what type of business industry you're into, if you're in truck and transportation, if you want to open up a food truck, if you want to open up assisted living or adult daycare, if you want to open up a school for autistic children, if you want to get into energy and sustainability, if you want to get into agriculture, then it doesn't matter what it is, you can apply to this 100K opportunity. Next question is, do you have customers and is the company generating revenue? Yes or no? Here's where having a business plan will really help you out. Who are your competitors? Okay, so you simply just list your top three competitors. And you can, if you have your business plan, you can go into your business plan, copy that, and paste it here. Simple. Who is your team? So tell us about your team. Even if it's just you, what backgrounds and skills do you have to make your company a success? Yes, friend. So if it's just you and you have to take certain certification classes, like if you own like a plumbing business or an electrician business, we might have to go to school or get a certification in order to perform your services. Well, you need to explain what those skills were or what those background skills and achievements were, what type of certification you got, because you can't operate, right? You can't make your company a success if you don't have that certification. So put that in there. Traction. So for those of you who are generating revenue, you can put in you can include the revenue that you generated rated in the last month, revenue generated in the lifetime of your company, monthly revenue growth rate, number of customers, notable customers, number of paid or unpaid pilots, etc. If this doesn't apply to you and you're a startup, you can simply put in there, we have not generated revenue yet. However, when we start to generate revenue, we plan to increase our annual revenue by 20%. Okay, that's how you can answer that question. Now, the next set of questions is just very direct. What is your business industry? You will select the business industry from all of the ones that's in the list here. Okay, so if it's food and beverage, that's fine. Okay, and then what are the keywords? So it can be food truck, if you're trying to do a food truck or something like that, or a restaurant, you can simply type that in. But you can select up to 15 keywords. So that way you can really dive deep and describe exactly what your business does and what you're about. How many full-time and part-time employees do you have? If it's just you, then it will be one full-time employee. Your investment stage. So did you ever take in any investments from anybody? Okay. If not, then you could just simply click on not sure or not applicable. If you never received any investment from anybody, then you could just simply put zero for $0. If you are currently fundraising, then you want to select yes. And how much are you raising right now? And or how much are you planning to raise? Okay. So it can be 100K. And then, so here's where having the business plan, the pitch deck, and all of that stuff comes in handy. All right. You can upload your pitch deck and the executive summary part of your business plan to attach that file to the application so they can further research and know more about your particular service and product or your idea. And that will truly help increase your chances of approvals with this opportunity. Okay. This is why having those things before you go for funding will truly help out with the flow of completing funding opportunities. Okay. So next set of questions, which we're coming towards the end here. What is the biggest challenges? So besides funding, what they want to know is what are your biggest challenges for facing your company now? So that could literally be you need supplies and equipment to be able to be more effective and efficient in your business or in your company. You might need to hire people, right? And so that way you can have the workmanship necessary to be able to provide the services and products. So whatever that is, you need to put in what your biggest challenges are. And that can also be inside of your SWOT analysis as well, or your risk analysis that's in your business plan. Program goals. So what if you were selected for the 100K? What are the top three objectives you would like for this company or you would like for this program to help you achieve? That can be hiring people. That can be mentorship. That can be strengthening your marketing strategy. Increasing your opportunities with different resources and tools and learning how to use them. Right, giving you the blueprint on how to make 100K a month. Things like that. Reason for selection. Now, here's where you need to get compassionate. Why should you be selected for this program? And in what ways can they help you reach your goals? Okay? What are your goals? Answering this question, you can simply answer all three of the questions because it's a three-part questions. You can answer this by simply starting out with your goals, right? Well, our company goals is to reach A, B, and C. This 100K program can help us reach those goals by simply providing the mentorship, the perks and deals with Amazon and PayPal and whatever have you, and also providing us with the necessary funding so we can be able to reach those goals. If we were we should be selected for the program because our mission is to provide more jobs for incarcerated individuals, veterans, as well as single families who are in need of a second chance at life. This will be really impactful to our community, and it will allow us to drive in more profits in our community economics. Okay. So you can say something like that, but get really compassionate about it. You can also talk about, well, you've always wanted to start a food truck company. You love to cook. You used to cook in the kitchen with your grandparents or whatever have you, and life happened, and you just want you can get really compassionate with this. Okay. All right. So last but not least, we are going over your personal pronouns. So he, she, they, or them. Founder demographics. So what is your ethnic group? And then your referral service. So you found this through YouTube. So you would just scroll to the bottom, click on YouTube. Alabama HBCU, are you a member of them? Yes or no? If not, that's fine. It does not decrease your chances of approvals with this 100K opportunity. Previous programs, if this is your first time ever going for one of these programs, you've never heard of the generator before, you can click on none and then check the boxes that you agree to the terms and conditions of this 100K opportunity. All right, that is how you apply to this $100,000 investment accelerator program. Super dope. It's for anybody who wants to start a business or scale a business that they currently have. This is a really good program for you. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave the floor for some questions. All right. Do you all have any questions about what we went over? I hope I was very thorough and I was able to explain everything to you, thoroughly, and you got some reassurance on grants and all that good stuff. I love grants. Grants is just the most comprehensive and a no-brainer to go for with business funding, simply because you don't have to provide so much documentation, like your bank account information, your personal information, like your date of birth and social. You don't have to worry about a credit inquiry that will decrease your credit score. You don't have to worry about any of those things with grants. Grants is free money that they want to give out to you for your idea and for your business, but you just simply need to show up for your business and explain to them why you are deserving of the opportunity. Okay. So we went over some really good stuff here. I hope that you all, feel like this information was very informative, and I hope that it really, did reassure you on what grants are and things like that. But type your questions in the chat. I'm going to give you about like 2 or 3 more minutes left before we get out of here. I know it's early in the morning wherever you are, or in the afternoon. But yeah, I absolutely love grants. Now, while you're typing your questions, I want to explain to you what it looks like when you hire a grant writer like myself. Now, I am a US-based certified grant writer, okay, which means I have a certification in this. I've had it for 10 years. I've had it for a very long time, okay? Now, as a certified grant writer, you cannot pay us out of your reward, okay? It's very important you know this. I know that you've probably been going for business funding. You've probably put in over 20 credit card applications and business loans by now. But you probably are used to a loan officer telling you, hey, give me 10%, 15%, 20% out of the loan that I get you. That's not how it works with grant writers, okay? We get paid up front for our creative writing skills, as well as for the time and guesswork it takes to find the grant that serves in your favor and to apply for it. Essentially, we are saving you time. You don't hire a grant writer for 100% guarantee simply because we can't guarantee. We can never say that we can guarantee you a grant. That's just not how it works. Grants are competitive. And just like you aggressively need this free money, There are so many other entrepreneurs and startups that aggressively need this free money too. Okay. So may the best business, properly set up and professionally set up business win. And I just wanted you all to understand how that works. So we have a question. Wesley says, what are the pros and cons of grants? Well, the pros is you don't have to worry about your personal information being used in a certain database, like with loans and bank loans and stuff. You also don't have to pay it back. You also don't have to worry about a credit check. So that's really good. And what else are the pros? It's free money. It's free money that you don't have to pay back at all. It also comes with extra perks, like you can have networking opportunities. You can get more perks and deals, right, with other business resource tools that you need to use. So, for example, you might get $100,000 in Google ad credit to help you with marketing your services and products. So, the perks and the pros of going for a grant and winning a grant, even if you don't win, there's still a pro with just simply applying, because grant application asks questions that will really get your wheels to turning up there, right? That will start making you think, maybe I can tighten up in some areas of my business development process or how I deliver my services and products, right? So, the grant application itself will help you develop your business acumen and your vocabulary as well. And it will help prepare you for other networking opportunities, and help you deliver a really good pitch when you are out in those networking events. So that's the pros to going for grants. No paybacks, no credit checks, no personal information needed. Um, Helps you develop your business acumen and develop your business pitch. Comes with perks and deals. The cons about it is that it's no 100% guarantee. The cons about it is that it can take a while, right, before you can actually win a grant. I always say consistency is key with this. You can apply to, let's say, this is not for everybody, but I'm just giving an example. You can apply to like 50 grants and only get approved to like 5 out of the 50 that you apply to, right? So it all depends, right, on how often you are going for grants. I also want you to think of this like this analogy. I give this analogy a lot, but the person who goes in a corner store and they buy a lotto ticket or a scratch off every day has a higher chance at winning the lotto or winning on one of those scratch offs that they buy every day, simply because they give themselves a chance every day. So it's very important that you apply to one grant a day, to help increase your opportunities with getting approved for a grant, and also to help you increase your chances of approvals, because you'll be properly prepared for majority of these grant applications. So also a con could be if you are in a place where you aggressively need funding with a quick turnaround time. Well, you have some grant programs that really will give you like the exceeding amount that you're requesting, right? So it could be 100K, 500K, millions of dollars, but you might not get funded until weeks later, right? Still within that year, but weeks later. So that can be a con too, but you will always know when you are going to be funded. They will let you know through the entire approval process, okay? But that can be a con to some too. And I can see that being one of the biggest cons of going for grants, simply because we're living in such like a microwave time right now where everybody wants something at an instant. Instant gratification has literally swallowed the world at this moment in 2025. So, with so many people wanting money right now, funding right now, I believe that they forget that developing a business and having a business is a journey. And sometimes it's not about, oh, I need funding so I can invest into my marketing strategy so I can hire more people. Sometimes it's a situation, sorry. Sometimes it's a situation where sometimes it's a situation where I lost my train of thought. So sorry. I just got a call through WhatsApp. But yeah, sometimes it's a situation. Sorry, I gained it back, where you just simply need to tweak a few things in your business, and you'll be able to start generating that revenue and hitting your revenue goals. Okay, so That's why it's good to have one-on-one consultations with business consultants like myself that will help you think of some execution strategies and marketing strategies that will help you create awareness about your services and products and allow you to really reach those income goals. And once you find out what works versus what doesn't work, then you can then have the necessary data to, or pretty much the blueprint on making sure you hit your income goals. Okay. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question thoroughly. Um, so if there's no other questions, I really do appreciate you guys for joining me on this entire 1 hour live stream. We went over $100,000 grant opportunity. I also talked to you about exactly what grants are, how to find them, and all of the frequently asked questions you might have. Now, keep in mind that if you just joined, or if you don't want to go back and watch the whole 1 hour live stream, that's fine. Friend, all you have to do is go to my playlist. It's called the Grant Masterclass playlist. It's on my YouTube channel. So you'll click my face somewhere on here, go to my channel, go under my playlist, and you'll see that Grant Masterclass playlist. Now, it's about 6 to 10 minute videos. So it's only 5 videos there. They're all 6 to 10 minutes each. And it's direct information that's actually answering all of those frequently asked questions that you most likely have about grants. Okay. So if you don't want to watch the full 1 hour live stream, that's fine. Then you have those short form videos there for you that can give you the reassurance and clarity you need about grants and stuff. Okay. Everything I went over in this live stream is definitely inside of those short form videos. Okay. Except for me walking through a 100K grant opportunity. I want to thank you so much for joining me. You can always book a one-on-one consultation with me. It's $50, super worth it. The link is in the description down below. You can visit superchargemybusiness.com. I also pinned it at the top of the chat. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys later on this evening, 6 p.m. Eastern time, okay? Bye-bye for now.